heard of the Mendoza line. Now it's time to talk about the Lou Gehrig with ALS line. And the reason it's time to talk about the Lou Gehrig with ALS line is because most of the Mariners are hitting below the Lou Gehrig with ALS line, which is a problem. So we have the lineup for the Mariners out today. But I don't want to talk about that yet. What I want to talk about right now is how the Mariners had the day off yesterday and basically had to fly home and had to travel halfway across the country, so they didn't have much of an opportunity to do much. Excuse me. They're playing the Cubs today, and they're playing against the Cubs starting pitcher of Jordan Wicks. Somebody who is a Cubs fan mentioned to me on Reddit that it's basically the top of the rotation for the Cubs. Wicks is 0-1 this season with a 4.15 ERA. He is 4-2 in his career in 9 games, 37 strikeouts and 43 1/3 innings pitched with a 1.36 WHIP and a 1.73 WHIP. So, truthfully, we don't know enough about Wicks to know how well the Mariners will do against him or how anybody will do against him. The Mariners have never played against him before because it's only his 9th game. Mariners will trot out Bryce Miller, who's 1-1. Both pitchers actually have 13 strikeouts on the season. But Bryce's ERA is 3, and he has 13 strikeouts and 12 innings pitched with a WHIP of 1. So that's actually not bad. I think Bryce will do well today. The Cubs have not submitted their lineup yet. The Mariners usually submit their lineup first. I believe actually home teams are required to submit the lineup first. It's going to be Crawford, Rodriguez, France, Haniger, Polanco, Garver, Raleigh, Moore, Urias. So we are starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players below the Mendoza line. J.P. Crawford is below the Lou Gehrig with ALS line. Ty France has the best average on the team right now in terms of starters with a 316 and an OPS of 718. But he only has 2 RBIs because we barely get on base. Crawford's got 5 RBIs. Julio's got 3. France has 2. Haniger has 8. Polanco 3. Garver 2. Raleigh 4. Moore 2. Urias 3. So that's actually a decent amount of RBIs, and there's 4 stolen. All of our stolen bases are in the lineup today. So I'm actually rather excited about that today. It should be a good chance for pitching to do well and our offense to potentially be able to get back into the swing of things with facing somebody who's newer to the league. Saying that, and knowing it's the Mariners, there's a good chance that we give up the first ever perfect game to a guy with less than 15 starts. I wouldn't be too upset about that, as like it's cool to watch perfect games. But let's go ahead and look and see if there's any matchups. And there is. Cooper from the Cubs is 0-1 against Miller. So actually, and Haniger is 0-3 against Wicks. So the cool thing here is both teams haven't really seen each other. Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger are both really good players. There's a Suzuki on the Cubs, so that's kind of cool. I just think it's going to be an interesting game. I'm hoping we can start hitting the baseball, get guys to have over a 200 average, over a 250 average. I've been looking at some of the baseball savant stuff, and it's been better. We're having some bad luck on batting average on balls in play. We've had some hard hit balls. Unfortunately, Julio seems to not be doing really well right now. His baseball savant's pretty bad, which is really bad. As he is literally like the best player on our team, supposedly. I'm glad that Sebi Zavala is not in the lineup, as he is a liability, has not gotten on base in 3 games. So we'll see what happens. Urias batting 9th, I don't hate that, but I'm surprised Luke Raley isn't in the game. Polanco at second base needs to up his average, but he did make the game-saving play. Him and our designated hitter Garver are both at a 167. Polanco's OPS is a little bit higher at a 488. Haniger's got... My problem is you want your first 2-3 guys to get on base. And of our first 3 guys, only one of them's batting over 200. Only one of them's got an OPS over 500. And it's just going to be a mess. I don't know how Scott can fix this other than just by somehow figuring out how to get all of the guys to not have a cold streak at the same time. So, yeah, there's that. Hopefully I'm not coming to you being like, and the Cubs have thrown a perfect game against the Mariners later tonight.